I like to learn, explore, and share those learnings. I see the importance of turning differences into an asset, instead of a liability, in any kind of relationship. We need to build healthy relationships and work environments. At some point, I realized the impact of a very important skill, and I have some questions for myself. Would it be great if we could contain the impulse to react to a difference, and therefore prevent the discussions and fights between each other, but also access innovation and creativity? This kind of discussion can happen between relatives, co-workers, and workforce, and management. What is the value of putting a stop to a fight between a father and a son, or between two co-workers? What about being in a group and bringing a difference that is too much different? Could make a difference to contain that difference, instead of turning that person into a scapegoat for the group problems? How much would it be worth to stop putting people on the scapegoat spot or being put there? Well, to do that, and much more, we need an important skill. Do you agree that it's important to have a strategy to contain the differences? We need the skill to contain. But what is it? What is contain? Personally, 3 things help me make sense. One is finding images. I'm very visual, and I understand when people say that an image worth more than 1,000 words. The second is to link that with our emotions, and find meaning. The third is seeing its practicality. I started with frustration, as the sensation of energy, and the difference between that energy being tolerable and intolerable. To visualize that, I found the images while biking. Most of the days I bike, I pass by this beach. As I pass by very often and all year long, I see the difference in the sea. One day, while thinking about contain, I watched this same spot, but I saw it differently, and I understood better what contain means. Let me explore it. At the same beach, there are moments when the sea is flat, there are no big waves. In those safety conditions, people can get in the water and swim, and fishermen can get in their boats and go fishing. I would see the waves of the sea as energy, and the flat waves as tolerable energy. However, there are moments when the sea is aggressive, and the waves get bigger. The sea doesn't look safe to swim or fish. Would it make sense to get into the water in those conditions? If a person dives into these waters, would he be able to swim, crawl, breaststroke, backstroke, or butterfly, or would he swim to survive? I see these moments of the big waves as those moments where there is frustration and the sensation of energy is intolerable. To prevent the fishermen from fishing all year long, and for men to swim safely during the summer, men built a seawall. This seawall has a big impact on the situation. Why? While the sea is flat, people can swim and fishermen can go fishing, which they could do even before the seawall. However, in moments of turbulence, where the sea is aggressive, and the waves get bigger, the seawall is a game changer. Why is the seawall a game changer? Because the seawall holds intolerable energy on one side while maintaining the other side with waves that people can swim, and fishermen can go fishing, and therefore keep this side with tolerable energy. Would you recommend a fisherman or a swimmer to get in the unsafe sea, with the aggressive waves? What would be the consequences for a fisherman or a swimmer to get in those waters? How would a swimmer feel? What would be his/her goal? What would be the outcomes? Getting into the water in those turbulent conditions is the correct thing to do. What about going to fish or swim in the flat, safe sea? Would the swimmer and the fisherman feel? What would be their goals and outcomes? It would be the right thing to do to get in the water only in the flat sea. I understood the seawall changes the conditions of the same place, at the same moment. Contained is like a seawall, while the energy of interaction with ourselves, others, or tasks is tolerable, it looks like the seawall or container is not needed. However, when that same energy is intolerable, like the seawall, contain is a game changer, because holds the intolerable energy, while creating a space of tolerable energy, where people can be in safe conditions, can access their resources, and work, instead of being emotionally hijacked and being in the fight-flight-freeze mode. Now that I explore the visual and meaning, what about the practicality? For that I found an SCT, Systems-Centered Training, ways to apply the skill of contain, in different contexts, like the contain process in meetings, joining, functional subgrouping, or the role of the container. And the difference between that energy being tolerable and intolerable. First, knowledge is like an onion, with several layers. Therefore, we only address one of those layers in contain. There is still a lot to explore. Second, the seawall is a game changer by creating a safe side, where the waves are tolerable, and therefore people can swim or go fishing, The same happens with contain. It is also a game changer by creating a safe context where people can do their work while holding but not forgotten, neither scapegoating the differences that are too different.